So there are a lot of theories floating around that the Daishinkan, the Grand Priest, is evil. I don't know what that entails, but clearly he's the brains of this Tournament of Power operation, right? For whatever reason, he wants a lot of these universes gone. Whether that could be described as evil or not, he's clearly not on our side. He's not on Universe 7's team when it comes to this operation. Now, today I wanted to talk about a theory that I have and many others have surrounding the Tournament of Power and what will eventually happen. So I think it's a very, very, very big possibility, and there's a lot of evidence to back this up, that Goku and Jiren will eventually team up. Now, I do believe they're going to fight, right? That's why the opening is teasing those two fighting. I think eventually, when they cross each other enough, they're going to realize that, yo, we are just pawns in this entire game. Like, we're not actually fighting for anything, really, if you think about it. We're just fighting because the Grand Priest and Zeno-sama want us to fight. And they're going to eventually propose something to Zeno-sama, and this proposal is going to allow those two to team up, possibly against the Daishinkan, the Grand Priest. Yes, I think it's a very big possibility that we will see Goku and Jiren versus the Grand Priest. I want to stress this point. This is not about Grand Priest's hidden motives, although I do believe he has some, whether it be annihilating the lower mortals, whether it be annihilating all the mortals, period, including the higher level mortals that he might view as a threat to himself. Maybe he doesn't want the gods and the mortals communicating, and maybe he's just disgusted with the mortals in the same way that Zamasu was, right? Or maybe he's trying to overthrow Zeno-sama. He's trying to take his place, and this is just part of the operation, right? I don't exactly want to touch too much on why the Grand Priest is doing what he's doing, but rather why Goku and Jiren will eventually realize what they are doing is stupid, right? Because I believe Goku and Jiren will be the last two left in the Tournament of Power, right? It's going to all come down to them. Although, of course, it is nice to think that Vegeta, Gohan, maybe the Universe 6 Saiyans, or Hit, or maybe some other mortals from other universes will back Goku in the fight against Jiren, right? Because maybe Jiren is simply too powerful. That is a possibility that Goku alone, even with this new transformation that we now know is confirmed, right? We actually have a visual of it. Maybe even with that transformation, Goku cannot defeat Jiren, right? So he needs the help. However, I don't think they're going to go down that route. I don't think that Goku's going to get assistance from other characters, because that would sort of be cheating in a way. And I don't think the Dragon Ball Super creators want Goku to win against Jiren with assistance, right? Because then, as a community, we can never really discuss, yo, Goku defeated Jiren, because we're always going to be bringing up the fact that, yo, Goku had help. So I don't think they're going to take it down that route. In fact, because all these different universes will be gone by the time that Goku and Jiren are fighting, and it's going to be like Universe 7 cheering their candidate on, Universe 11 cheering theirs on, I think that's going to create a certain type of atmosphere. So, for instance, despite the fact that Beerus loves to joke with Champa and they love to tease each other, I truly think Beerus loves his brother, right? And I also believe that Universe 7 has made a lot of friends in Universe 6. I think it's going to be on Goku's mind sometime in the fight, like, damn, all these different universes are gone, and for what? For what? Because they wanted to get rid of the lower level universes? What do you mean? So that's going to be in Goku's head, despite how much we joke about Goku being stupid or whatever. I think he's going to want to bring these universes back. I think one of his main objectives is going to be to revive the different universes, right? With the Super Dragon Balls. Now, here's the thing, guys. A lot of people already assume that, okay, so the tournament is going to end and Goku's going to revive all the different universes with the Super Dragon Balls. But I don't think it can really work like that, right? I think that, you know, the Super Dragon Balls shouldn't be powerful enough to revive every single one of the universes. And who's to say Zeno won't just destroy these universes again once they bring them back, or once Goku brings them back? You see, there's no deal between Goku and Zeno-sama where Zeno agrees, yo, Goku, you could bring back all these different universes. No, they just had a tournament to get rid of all these universes. So there would have to be some kind of a proposal, some kind of a deal. I mean, you guys honestly think we'll never see Hit again, that their rivalry will just end in this Tournament of Power, despite the fact that Goku just jumped to Hit's defense? Do you think we'll never have the potential of the Universe 6 Saiyans, the female Saiyans, once again in the series? that just sounds kind of crazy to me, the fact that they build up all these characters and just erase them forever. At the same time, it's also BS for Goku to just be like, hey, I won the Tournament of Power, everybody comes back. No, they're just not going to allow it. Specifically, the Grand Priest, who I think, yes, has hidden motives and wants these universes to disappear. But I also think the Grand Priest is a little bit nihilistic, meaning that he doesn't really see any purpose in anything. He's kind of over everybody, so he's kind of just chilling out, anything goes, and maybe he'll even coddle the fact that some kind of deal can be arranged to allow these universes to come back, right? And think about it, while Jiren believes he's on the side of justice, I don't see him bringing back all these different universes that kind of disappeared in this Tournament of Power, especially Universe 6, right? What attachment does Jiren in Universe 11 have to the potential in Universe 6? Now, how is this all going to unravel? So, one of the biggest themes in Dragon Ball the franchise, and even in other shonen battle manga, is you could learn more about your foe or your enemy or even somebody with fists than with words, right? Fighting your enemy, fighting your opponent is the best way to learn like what kind of person that he is. And even though we love to make jokes about Goku and his stupidity and his carelessness, which you could say is part of the reason we're in the Tournament of Power, even though they already had the motives of setting it up. Even though we make these jokes about Goku, he is by no means a bad person, right? However, I can understand why other people think that he is, and I can understand how his irresponsibility can lead to very bad things to where maybe he would be deserving of annihilation, right? But I don't think that he's consciously aware of these bad decisions, and I think anybody who feels like Goku is actually malicious in any of his intent is ridiculous. Now, if you remember back during the Universe 6 saga when Goku and Hit fought, Goku eventually asked Beerus, like, yo, can you allow killing in this tournament so that, you know, Hit could use his full strength against me and we could have an actual fight? But Beerus objected to that, right? Beerus said, no way. And the reason Beerus objected to that is because I think Beerus realized that that would put, you know, things in Universe 6's favor, which, you know, he was competing with Universe 6, so why would he agree to that? Which is why Shappa threw Goku a compliment, like, wow, what a great display of sportsmanship. Like, you're a really great guy, Goku. I agree, we should allow killing in the tournament. When in fact, Champa is just thinking about himself. He couldn't care about any sportsmanship Goku displays, as long as it's in his favor, of course. So what ended up happening, right? Both of them pretty much realized this whole tournament was BS, right? Goku thought, you know, the gods were selfish. Hit agreed to that, right? They both realized they were just pawns in this game, in this Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament. And what ended up happening, Goku rebelled, right? He went outside of the ring, and then in the next fight, Hit basically faked his defeat against Monaka. Now, you could use that and sort of pull things from that arc and say this could possibly happen again. Why couldn't it? History repeats itself. Now, we don't know that much about Jiren yet. He's very stoic and he looks very serious, but that could just be him hiding his emotions because he maybe wants to appear very strong in this Tournament of Power and calm, right? He doesn't want his teammates to think that he's weak, or maybe he wants to appear like a leader in front of his teammates, so he's not going to show a lot of emotions, right? Because, for instance, when Universe 9 got erased, guys, he did not care at all. So that could come off kind of cold, right? Or maybe he has feelings, he has emotions, he understands that maybe that's not really right, but he's hiding all of that. And maybe that's something that will kind of rise to the surface as he's fighting Goku. He realizes, like, Goku's not a bad guy. Maybe he's an idiot, but he's not a bad guy. And as they fight, maybe even Goku will bring up some things to Jiren that will lead Jiren to believe that this is not worth it. And maybe those two will eventually do what Goku and Hit did in the Universe 6 arc, where basically they kind of rebel, right? And that's where maybe they start whispering things to each other and they realize that it's probably the Grand Priest behind all of this. Now, I want to quickly stress the fact that I don't think Goku will be the one to bring up the idea about the Grand Priest being behind this, because I don't think he's smart enough to realize anything like is wrong with the Grand Priest. I just think that Goku thinks the Grand Priest is a part of this order, and he doesn't really give it much thought, right? Whereas Jiren might notice, like, okay, there's something really fishy about the Grand Priest. Like, he's getting off to these universes getting erased. He's getting off to me beating you up, Goku. Why is the Grand Priest looking all excited? And maybe Jiren will pick up on that, and he will whisper something into Goku's ear like, why don't we propose something to Zeno-sama, since maybe Grand Priest is manipulating Zeno, and we can force Grand Priest into a corner where maybe, you know, we fight him or something like that. And Goku, listen, I think we together, we could take on the Grand Priest. And this proposal will be very spontaneous. It'll be loud. Zeno-sama, he can't resist, right? He just wants to have a good time. He just wants to see him fight. And that's where the Grand Priest will be backed into a corner. Now, a lot of people will then bring up, well, what about the angels? What about the Grand Priest's children? It wouldn't make sense for them just to sit, you know, on the sidelines. But what I think is going to happen is there's going to be like a split. So there's going to be some angels that will back the Grand Priest, and there's going to be other angels back Goku and Jiren. Because I think some of them low-key don't like the Grand Priest. I think some of these angels probably realize the Grand Priest is toxic, right? And I mean, for instance, Universe 10's angel was very sad when her universe got erased. Maybe Whis will jump to our defense, right? I think some of the angels will jump to our defense, and that's where it'll be like this split down the line, where the angels realize, like, it's not worth it to fight each other. Maybe even the Grand Priest will say, listen, I got this. Y'all could just stand back, right? I don't think the angels will be fighting. I think there will be enough angels on both sides to where, you know, nothing really happens. It's like a stalemate. And some of you might bring up Toppo. Well, why didn't Toppo see Goku's true nature when he fought Goku? Well, I think Toppo is a fool. I think he's an idiot. So I think Toppo believes he's on the side of justice, but I don't think he knows exactly why. He's never really questioned his beliefs. He's just blinded by his own rules, by his own tribe. He sees Goku as bad because everyone else does, and obviously he's in this universe to fight for his team, whereas Jiren might be a bit smarter than him. That's why he is the team captain. In fact, he might even be the mortal that Beerus fought in the past, right? We just don't know yet. There's not enough evidence to, you know, lean in any direction when it comes to that specific thing. Now, the final reason why I think that Goku and Jiren will team up against the Grand Priest is what was specifically stated about the Grand Priest's power. So, the Grand Priest was stated to be top 5 in the multiverse, right? But if you take Goku and Jiren and you add their power together, especially with Goku's new transformation, maybe they are top 5 in the multiverse together, right? Again, a couple of the universes, I believe 4 universes, are exempt from the Tournament of Power, so there's probably some very powerful mortals in those universes. I'm still assuming Goku and Jiren's power level together could probably rival the Grand Priest. Yes, because in the anime, it was stated Grand Priest is top 5 in the multiverse. Now, in the manga, it was stated that he's strongest in the whole multiverse. Now, I think that distinction is very important because if it was stated in the anime version that Grand Priest was the top of the entire multiverse, I think that Goku and Jiren teaming up to defeat the Grand Priest would just be unrealistic, because that would mean that, yo, those two together are the strongest in the whole multiverse. Like, that's it. Where do we even go from there? So that's the big distinction between the anime and the manga. I think they could make a legit fight, right? Goku and Jiren teaming up, and man, that would be one heck of a fight. And I think the angels will stand back, and I think as a result of this, Goku will be allowed to use the Super Dragon Balls to revive all the different universes without the potential that they will be extinct once again, because who's to say Zeno won't just delete them again, right? Because they're lower level. And who knows, if the Grand Priest does have a hatred for mortals, maybe he'll realize, like, these mortals have a lot of potential. They're very powerful. They're very beautiful in their own way. So why just destroy them? They have that chance for growth. I mean, look at where Goku came from, guys. That throwaway saying that arrived on Earth to the top of the whole multiverse a god in his own right, right? So why just destroy all these amazing creatures that could grow into such magnificent ones? So that's pretty much my theory, guys. Goku and Jiren teaming up again. It wasn't really foreshadowed much, but I just have a good feeling about it. Let me know in the comment section below, could you see a repeat of what happened in the Universe 6 arc, or do you just think that I'm reaching